So this will be the last tutorial on our Spring Boot account verification, and we are going to actually test what we've done, do some cleanup, and then wrap up. Now the last step that is very important is for us to update the isEnabled method of the UserPrincipal to return user.isAccountVerified. We perform a verification. We update the field isAccountVerified to true. If you take a look at what happens when we create a new user, and we are going to see the user in MySQL, we are going to see that the account verified is false or 0. So if I fill out the details and then submit, so we have a new user has been created, and now we are going to check our email. We should have an email, not this one. There should be a new email by this time. You can see the new email created. Now, if you look at the MySQL database, refresh, you can see the new user, but his account verified field is 0 here, right? So when we verify, we set the is account verified to true. And we are going to allow the UserPrincipal to use this field. So we have to go to UserPrincipal. You can now see whether the account is enabled. It returns true by default, as you can see here. So instead of to return true, we are going to return user.isAccountVerified. Because when we wrote the function verify user in the user service, we set this field to true. So at this point, we are ready to go. So let's try. By the way, we can also check the Spring Security config. We have register verify permitted, but I think we need to permit the styles as well and other resources. So I'm going to just copy them and just use it here. Yes. So let me save everything and then let's restart this application. So hopefully when we click on verify, we click on the link on the email, then we are going to have the account verified. Before we continue, let's just review whether we have the correct link. So if we go to the email context for account for user registration. So if we go to the email context, which is this one, we have register verify. Okay, that's the URL. And when we go to user controller, when we go to the controllers, registration controller, we also will need the parent mapping route here to be at request mapping, then go to /verify. So let's stop and rerun the application and let's see what we have. So Tomcat started on port 8080. Go to the login page, and I'm going to not forget password, but sign up. Let's see, MySQL, we have one user. So I'm going to delete because I don't have so many emails. Or maybe I could use a different email address. And we should have an email coming in a different email address, which is this one. Now I'm going to click on the link. You can see the link right here. So I'm going to click on it. And it takes us here, user account verified. And that is so excellent. Now if we go to the email, if we go to MySQL, we can see that the field, this account verified field should now be set to 1. Actually the second one, which is this one. So we can now log in with this account. Okay, so I was talking about messages. When you have several messages, it's better to put them on a message bundle. So let me just show you how that works. So let's take, for instance, so you have this token error, you have this token error, you have message, and we want to put this in a message bundle. So if you have several messages, you may have to place them in a message bundle, and depending on the language of the locale, you can actually choose which message to retrieve. So I'm going to simply create in the resources directory, I'm going to create new resource bundle, and I'm going to call it messages. So you can also create more like messages.de, messages.ig, messages.rFrench, and so on. So but in this case, we are using just one, which is English. Okay, so to use this message, if you go back to your controller, let's see, so it should be account verified, right? So instead of using account verified here, I have to now call that message, but to be able to call resources, I'm going to auto-wire message resource, private message source, message source. So this will help us to retrieve messages from the from that directory, from the message properties resource. So I'm going to now say message source.getMessage, and name is so message source.getMessage. The name of that message is, this is the name or the key. So I'm going to retrieve it by the key, and then I'm going to put it right here. And it also asks us to specify arguments. If there are any arguments, there's none. Then we want to specify the locale context. So it will use the current locale, the default locale of the user. So once we verify, this will call the message using this key, and then you can use it. So the same, you can create other messages for token error, for account registration, for other messages you might want to send to the user. So in the repo for this project, you have a number of messages I've created. You are free to just use them. So this is how we come to the end of this tutorial on user account verification using Spring Boot. I'd like to thank you for having come this far. The next part will be user password reset request. So how do we allow the user to request a password reset, give him a link to enter a new password, and then allow him to update his password using the reset functionality. So the next tutorial you can follow is coming up in maybe a couple of days, or maybe even right now. Just check my channel frequently. Also subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss any updates from me. One thing again is that if you need a specific tutorial for me to create it, please let me know. I actually make my tutorials based on what the users request. If you have any questions or challenges, please also leave me a comment below this video. Thank you for now, and we'll see you in the next part.